Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. Today is kind of going to be a little bit different, and we're going to be talking about the top 10 things that I've heard for reasons why people have quit 3D resin printing. Now, this isn't kind of like a top 10 reasons why you should quit 3D resin printing. I'm not trying to tell anybody, walk anyone down from the skyscraper, as they say, but in this particular instance, this is more things that I've heard on Reddit, Discord, and other things like that, where people have said, it was too hard. I couldn't do it. Anyway, my number one, or actually, we'll do this backwards. We'll say number 10, my print failed. This is the thing I hear more common than anything else is my print failed, and I just gave up. I pretty much had, I got a print file from my mini factory. I loaded in a slicer, and I did some all sports, and, it didn't work. And, shock. Notice the look of surprise on my face when you told me it didn't work. Now, I know sometimes you might get lucky, and auto supporting and island searching and non-manual work and stuff like that will actually get you a decent result at the end of the day, but it doesn't always happen. So you're going to wind up getting a couple fails in there. You have to kind of be ready for that when you're not really putting in the manual work and you're not manually supporting the file. So in those cases, if you want to walk away from it, fine. Sure, 3D resin printing is more of an art form than it is just a technical thing. So it's kind of more like figuring out where the supporting really needs to go to get your file really looking good. So I get it. Sometimes it's not for everybody. Number 9, my screen got resin on it. Now, I've heard this one quite a lot, but this is often a reason why people will stop. They'll say, I don't want to replace the screen. It's too expensive, and that's pretty much it. My number one thing for this, guys, just put a screen protector on your printer, please. It'll save you hundreds of dollars in replacements of screens. I don't know why people don't do it. Every manufacturer nowadays ships their printers with screen protectors pretty much either available or already equipped. So, my goodness, folks, don't cheap out. They're not very expensive. Please just use a screen protector. It will save your life. Okay? Please. Number 8, my pre-supported files all stink. Well, all right. I could understand if you're getting into this as like, okay, I'm starting this and, my journey into 3D printing realm is I got some pre-support files and every single one of them is garbage and none of them work. Well, sadly, this can happen and you can actually run into quite a lot of bad printers bad supporting companies out there that will do really terrible job, really bang up rush jobs on the support work that they do. And in a lot of cases, people will also misunderstand the fact that pre-supports don't always work universally. The person who's doing the pre-support work doesn't know what printer you have, and everybody's printer is going to work and operate a little differently. Resolutions are different, sizes are different, and so everything changes. Islands, format, and locations will also shift a little bit based on that too. Proximity will change too. I've done a couple episodes talking about that. So I do get it. In the pre-support world, that's a thing you can deal with totally. But don't quit because of that. Just try and fix them. Try and fix the pre-support files. I have a couple episodes where we talk about that. Try and fix them. Number 7, I got resin on my carpet. Why is your... never mind. Number 6, my cat spilled my resin. I'm going back to this. Why is your cat anywhere near your 3D printer? But yeah, this is one I've heard before. Actually, a few times I even saw a Reddit post that was actually titled that. My cat spilled my resin. I actually feel bad for the cat living in that house. Number 5, can't find a place to dump the chemicals, so I had to stop. What'd you do with the stuff you had? I get it. Maybe it's not can't find a place. Maybe the complaint was more don't want to pay to dump the chemicals because it's not free. You do have to. There's disposal fees because it's toxic. And people try to dump it. I'm just like, don't dump it. You're gonna kill wildlife, trees, soil, and everything else. Don't dump it, please. It's bad. Number 4, could never get a print to work ever. Period. Just couldn't get it to happen. Pre-supported, not pre-supported. Tried to do it myself. Off the plate, not off the plate. Simple stuff, not simple stuff. Just couldn't get it to work. Now, I've met some of these folks. I've done so many cons and stuff, and I've met a lot. Everyone loves to tell me their stories about, I do 3D printing, or I learned 3D printing. I had a 3D printer. Yeah, a lot of people do now. It's a more common thing than it used to be. But the thing is, they'll all tell you the same story. I couldn't get anything to print, or it just didn't work. Some cases, these folks actually have a malfunctioning or a dysfunctional printer. One guy was telling me issues he was having for days. Apparently, he just couldn't get anything. And I think at the end of the day, the way he described it is that the actual build plate needed to be disassembled and kind of reassembled in more of a way where it was straight, because I think it was actually kind of crooked. So no matter what he did, he wasn't ever going to get a good print. Number 3, someone else got them the printer and essentially broke it and just gave up. Or they just gave up because someone else gave it to them. It was like a gift. They were like, hey, Bob, we thought you'd really like this 3D printer. And he was like, oh, that's neat. How the heck does that work? No one could show him because they probably don't know how it works either, unless they have a friend who's a 3D printer enthusiast. But, you'd think that would be the guy who'd get you the 3D printer. But I guess, no, maybe not. Maybe in some cases it's going to be like, hey, Bob, we got you a 3D printer. Again, it's a strange thing. Number 2. This is one of my favorite ones. I read this one a few times, and this was actually based on a Reddit story. One Reddit story. That's why this is number 2, because it's not that common. Okay? They filled the vat to the max, killed the entire printer, because essentially what happened is after that first pull, it literally pulled the whole vat up, and then it dropped after a while when gravity caught up to it. And then resin and everything killed the printer, went everywhere, and essentially looked like a chocolate volcano of resin went all over their printer. So, not to mention, I think the screen was damaged from the impact. All in all, it was just an absolute nightmare. And they were like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Well, I mean, unfortunately. And they also blamed it on the manufacturer, saying they only filled it to the max line. And from the image that they were showing, which they did take, I guess they were filming or taking pictures or something the whole time, they filled it to the line, to the word max. There's actually a line that sits directly underneath it. So it was a little bit higher than it should have been. But the level didn't really matter, because the not screwing the vat down was actually more detrimental to the printer than the actual overfill. Now, I've also heard of people simply saying, oh, I filled it to max, and then it just like flooded the printer. I've heard of that as well. That's also not as common of an issue. So we'll make that an honorary number 2 as well. And for number 1, this is one of my favorites. My goodness. Folks that just simply forgot to attach a build plate and started a print. Now, this isn't going to wreck anything, but I guess for people who just didn't understand what they were doing, it's going to be frustrating. You waited hours and you walk over just to see the build plate sitting next to the printer. I might quit too. Anyway, and that is pretty much the top 10 reasons to quit 3D printing. Maybe I'll quit 3D printing. No, I'm kidding. You guys don't want that, do you? Anyway, if you guys have any other reasons, or reasons that you might have thought to quit 3D printing, because I could probably give you a few of my own, or maybe some reasons that some other friends of yours have quit 3D printing, tell me. Put them in the comments below. I want to hear some more of these reasons. Maybe we'll follow this episode up and I'll talk more smack about other reasons why people have quit this wonderful hobby of ours that I know. Listen, guys, I know I probably said some of these things and it probably touched a nerve somewhere, because I know everybody has issues with 3D printing. It's not easy. It's not always fun. But I think it's also part of the exploration of kind of figuring it out. 3D printers are problem solvers. I think that's the majority of it. So when you get into this, you got to be ready to be able to solve a couple problems. This is a technical hobby and involves a lot of kind of like hands-on as far as the software and the hardware goes. All right. So anyway, keep that in mind, and hopefully you have a better time than some of these folks that I read these stories about. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode, guys. I know it was a little different. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.